Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Estate Success Secrets, the show for real estate agents who are taking over the world. We are here today with Deniece, Toth, top producer at Compass Realty. Deniece, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kim. Happy to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. So Deniece, tell me a little bit about your production last year, units, volume, and what your goals are for this year.
Okay, well, last year in 2020, which is crazy because it started out fine. And then about mid-March, we thought, holy cow, are we going to be able to keep the lights on? We finished the year selling 88 units, 88 closed transactions, which you guys were a part of many of them on the buy side, of course. And we finished at $51 million in revenue and volume, I should say. So it was just an extraordinary year for us. We're, moving forward, goals for this year. Quite honestly, I haven't even had time to think about goals for this year because James is sitting next to me here. He's already writing a contract that you will get this afternoon. And it's been crazy. This market it's crazy. Obviously we'd like to do 100. That would be a great goal, 100 units.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd all be happy.
Yeah.
Going back to the very beginning, what do you think was the first thing you did that really had an impact on your business?
Wow, way back when?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got my license in November of 2002, so going on 19 years. The biggest thing I did, if I had to pick one thing, is I worked my neighborhood really, really hard. I took advantage of friendships, of just kind of knowing somebody's name. I took advantage of getting in at my children's school and sponsoring things like carnivals and bingo night, and really just getting my name out there. I mean, tireless self-promotion comes to mind, but that has changed. That did change my business for sure. It gave me the first leg up.
What did you do in your neighborhood to promote yourself? I mean, you talked about a lot of promotion. What exactly were you doing?
Right. Well, first thing, and I still do it, and we don't even live in that neighborhood anymore, but I lived there almost 20 years. I still have friends, and we only moved 5 minutes up the road. I secured the back of our neighborhood newsletter. It only comes out 4 times a year. But I've been on the back of that newsletter for probably 16 years now. At Halloween, I would make up little trick or treat bags and pass them out to kids. Did they use them? No, they probably still use the big pillowcases, but it was something out there. Like I said, I would sponsor events at the school, I would advertise. Back then they had the school directories that were printed. I don't think they do that anymore, but they did. And I would advertise in those.
Okay.
Things like that.
What have you tried as far as marketing or advertising that didn't work?
Oh, you know what? I don't know if it didn't work because I didn't give it a real fighting chance to work. But like postcards, things like that never had any sort of good payout for me. Just sold in your neighborhood, call us. But I didn't do it with any regularity. So that could be the answer to that.
Right. Okay. What specifically have you had to change as your business has grown?
Help. I needed help. That's when I contacted you, or maybe you contacted me. I don't know who was first, but it was the right time because we needed help. I went for probably 18 years doing everything myself. And I was very proud of that. And, I worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it became very clear to me that something had to give. It was either going to be increased business and revenue or stop doing the backroom stuff, the stuff that now you and Trisha do for us, thank God. So that was a big change and a necessary change. And nobody likes writing the check, but you realize you write several more once you do it, or you don't write several more, you get several more once you do it.
Right. I've got a question for you. So, it seems like there might be a 24 transaction a year ceiling in real estate for a lot of agents.
Right.
What do you think for you was the secret, or what helped you break through that? Because a lot of people, they're kind of in the 2 a month, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for those who might be looking to get to that next level, what do you think the key is?
That's an interesting question. You just got to keep putting yourself out there. You got to know who you got to know who your sphere is. You got to know who, you've got to ask for the business. That's a big thing. You've got to ask for the business. It's crazy, Kim. It is still crazy to me that people will call me friends who I've known most of my life. And they'll say, I don't know if you're interested, but my friend is moving to Atlanta, and do you want me to give her your name? Yeah. What? This is how I pay my mortgage and my child's tuition. Of course I want you to give them my name, but it's still like you've got to educate people that this is what you do. You are not part-time, you are full-time. This is how you pay your bills. This is how you earn your living. And please, if you hear anybody who is looking to buy or sell, please send them my way. That's the biggest thing, and getting comfortable asking for business.
Are you using any kind of email drip campaigns along with that? Or is it mostly you're out in the neighborhood and doing the back of the...
We have never, I laugh. We have a CRM. We never use it. We should. Don't, do as I say, not as I do. We don't use it. Our CRM is basically my Facebook page, my daughter's Instagram page, being out, being on tennis teams, playing, my husband playing golf, just being out and about and supporting the community. And in turn, they support us. So to answer your question, no, we don't do any drip campaigns or anything like that.
Okay. And it seems like, even with COVID, since you are using social media and you're out there on social media, it obviously hasn't impacted your business.
No.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. As my broker said, well, my God, how much business could you do if you did use it? Well, probably true, but we're never going to know, because that ain't happening this year either. Unless I can find somebody to come and set it up for me and do it, which I don't have time to even interview somebody to do that. So.
Right. So who would you say you've learned the most from about business?
About business in general?
Sure.
Yeah, my dad. Yeah, okay. My dad. He was not in real estate, but he was in corporate America for years and years and years at Xerox and Bausch & Lomb and whatnot. And he, back in probably, I don't even know, maybe 1982, 83, he stumbled upon something called invisible fencing, which was very new at the time. It's, invisible fence. It keeps your dog in your yard. Yes. And we were up in Rochester, New York, and he was able to, he was like, where has this been? How do I not know about this? So he was able to buy a dealership and then a distributorship. And I worked for him starting when I was about 15 or 16 years old. And I would go out and I would sell these invisible fences, and he'd give me $100 every time I sold one. And he taught me so much about sales and marketing, and you got to ask for the order. Don't leave without the order. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, just not in an overwhelming in your face type of way, but here's the thing. Find out what they need. They called you for a reason. Figure out what they're looking for and do that for them. And, he was wildly successful with that. And I ended up running his telemarketing when I got older, ran the telemarketing campaign and setting up all that. And it's helped me immensely.
Okay, great. What would you say the biggest challenges that you've had in real estate, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge, the fact that everybody knows 15 realtors. everybody and their cousin is a realtor, especially in this market, Kim. I mean, because it looks like easy money, doesn't it? It's, oh my God, it's easy. I'll just sell a couple houses a year, and, or, you know, I get the calls, hey, I'm going to get my real estate license because I love decorating. And I love looking at houses, and Selling Sunset is my favorite show. And I think, wow, if only. You know, if only that's what we did. So, but you know, then you get, well, we were going to use you, but my cousin just got her license. Okie dokie. You know, that's the nature of the beast. Everybody knows a million different real estate agents, and my job is to sell not just me and houses, but value. You know, sell the value of me.
What do you say to that? Like when somebody says something like, I've got Joe over here, my cousin.
Sure. Well, you know, like anything, do you want somebody with nearly 20 years experience, or do you want somebody who's got, you know, one transaction under their belt and it was their mom's, or 5 transactions even? You know, here's the thing, like all of us, just when I think I know it all, I realize, you know, the universe has a very funny sense of humor, and I don't know it all. And every single transaction, every last one, I learned something. Every one. And I got a whole lot of things I've learned, you know. So
that's how we get experience.
Oh my goodness, it's invaluable. I know what to do in multiple offers. I know what to do. I just know, because I've been there and I've been burned. And I'm still not the best at it. I'm pretty darn good. I'm better than the guy who's been licensed since September. I was that guy, you know?
What do you think is the most important lesson you've learned during your career?
Humility. You know, what's the phrase I'm trying to think? You know, talent is God-given, don't waste it. Then there's one other one, and then it is success is self-given. Be humble. You know, this is the world of sales. It's a commission-based world, and you know, believe me, I lived to tell about 2008, 9, 10, 11. I thought, you know, I was a single mom. I thought I was going to starve to death. You know, 2009, I made $16,000, 1-6, not 6-0, 1-6. You know, and prior to that, you know, I'd been in real estate in 2009. I'd been in real estate 7 years at the time, and I'd always done well, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, fine. To make $16,000 as a single mom of 3 little girls, that's talk about humility. That's some humble pie right there, you know. And you pick yourself up, and you just keep working, you know, you keep digging. So.
You mentioned a little bit about your family. Talk to me about your team structure and who does what. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting, but then again, not really. But it's different than many. We are all equals. Clearly, well, I shouldn't say clearly to me, I'm in charge, but that's just because it's me. I got here first, you know. Skylar lives down in Brookhaven. She has she's killing it. She has just a plethora of like first-time home buyers, you know, her contemporaries. She's had a couple high school teachers list their homes and have her help them buy their homes. So we all kind of do a little bit of everything. James is definitely our workhorse. I don't work with a whole lot of buyers anymore. In fact, I really don't work with any buyers anymore unless they're longtime clients and friends. And quite frankly, they just really kind of want me because they've always had me, you know. But James and Skylar work with all our buyers. And then, you know, Skylar works the listings she gets, and we all help each other. You know, with our listings, I'm the one on the phone. I'm the one fielding the phone calls. I'm the one negotiating the contracts. Typically, I'm the one I see every contract and every stipulation and every amendment and exhibit that comes across for all three of us. I see all of them, which is good, because again, going back to the fact I've been to the rodeo for nearly 20 years. I know what to look for, but we all just kind of help each other, and it's really worked. A lot of teams have very specific. No, I only work with buyers. No, I only work with sellers, and that's just not us. We just work together and just kind of help each other.
What advice would you have for somebody who's in real estate and they're considering having someone in their family come on board?
Oh my word. It's worked out well for us.
Tips? Anything you can think of? Yeah.
Yeah. You got to find your niche. Like Skylar's niche isn't my niche. And Skylar's niche, I was going, you have to, it very much involves a paradigm shift on my part, or it involved. I kind of looked at me and how I reached my success back in 2002, 2003. And I thought, oh, she shall do it the same way. It's why reinvent the wheel? There was no Instagram back then. There was no social media. My God, there wasn't Waze or Zillow. It was a whole different world. So you really have to figure out each person. Even James, when he joined us in, I think it was 2000, maybe 15, joined me. It was just the two of us at the time. I was very much, you have to do this. You have to do this. Why aren't you doing this? Well, because A, things had changed, and B, that wasn't his gig. You've got to figure out what you're good at, what your strengths are, what your strengths are not, and really play into those and play into where you are going to get your business. Where are the people that know, like, and trust you? Because that's who's going to do business with you.
Okay. Tell me about what person, book, or class has been most influential for you.
Person, book, or class? Interesting, Kim. Well, it's not a book, I'll tell you that much. I would say the person, again, probably my dad. Just taking something and leaving a corporate job, which I did not do, but he left a corporate job and he bought this company and said, okay, we're going to make it work. And I watched him work his fingers to the bone, and boy, did it work. And, he always said to me, I do have a college degree. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, of all things. But he would say to me, the thing, Deniece, that I worry about with a college degree and education, get it, because nobody can ever take it away from you. But here's the thing. I feel like college, and he too is a college graduate, but he said, I feel like college teaches you to work for somebody else. And I don't know why you'd want to work for somebody else. I worked for somebody else for, nearly 15, 20 years, whatever. And you know how frustrating it is for somebody else to tell you what you're worth? You will make X amount of money this year. And they always move the goalposts every December, January, because they don't like how much they had to pay you. So then they make your sales quota higher. And, he's like, I got tired of somebody telling me what I was worth and what I was going to make. And, I kind of because I've always heard that, I grew up with kind of a more of an entrepreneurial spirit. Why would I want to work for corporate America? They can tell me how much I'm worth. Now, corporate America also offers crazy things like 401ks and stock options and health benefits. And, so we don't get that. But the flip side of the coin is, our opportunities at earning potential are limitless. It's, it's just what we put upon ourselves and really how many hours in the day we have. So that probably was the most influential thing in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. On a more frivolous note, what's the weirdest thing you've seen or has happened when you've been showing the homes?
Oh, hands down. the time that I took lovely, lovely clients, Kristen and Tim, who were moving here from Pittsburgh. And we had scheduled a showing. We scheduled, they're relocation buyers, which is exhausting. We probably showed 20 houses a day. And this was back before, like I said, GPS. So I was mapping it all out, and it took me 2 days just to figure out the route. And fine, we get to a lovely home in Seven Oaks, and the owner is gone, and we ring the doorbell, as I always do, just in case. Nobody's home, nobody answers. I'm told, in fact, I had been told that the sellers, it was fine. They were out of town for the weekend, actually. So we rang the doorbell, nobody answers. I use the lockbox, we go in, we're touring the home, and we're talking normal. I'm not a quiet person. And honestly, either are Kristen and Tim. And we get down to the basement and open the door to the basement bedroom. And there is the owner's son, who apparently decided not to go away for the weekend and was not told we were going to be there. And his, I'm assuming girlfriend. Yeah, I don't know who else it would be, but yeah. And boy, were they surprised, and boy, were we surprised, and we couldn't get out of there fast enough. There's that, and then there's the memory of taking Kathleen and Eric through a foreclosure back in the fun days. This might have been 2010, a foreclosure in Windward, in the neighborhood over there at Lake Windward. Beautiful home, but it had fallen on ill repair. And Eric was downstairs. Kathleen and I went upstairs, and in the master bedroom closet was what I'm assuming, homeless man fast asleep. And we screamed. He looked at us and screamed. We ran out of the house. I called the cops. Good times. Again, we couldn't get out of there fast enough. I called the listing agent and said, I don't know what to tell you. I still have your key. You're going to have to get it from me. And you got to get the guy out of the house.
Yeah.
So she was equally as surprised.
Yeah. Wow. All right. What's your morning routine, and what do you eat for breakfast?
I might have a bite or two of my husband's bagel for breakfast.
Right. You don't get your own breakfast?
No, I'm usually, honestly, like, I haven't eaten yet. I usually don't get real hungry until maybe 11:30. And I think, why bother eating breakfast now? I'll just go straight to lunch. So that's my breakfast, my morning routine. I am an early bird. I oftentimes am up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm not a good sleeper. But that's fine. I always spend my first hour on my social media, my Facebook, my Instagram. But I feel like that's kind of working, because that is my CRM. It's how I keep in touch with people. And then I just kind of hit the ground running. My routine, again, it drives my broker crazy. I don't have a routine. I just kind of, I wish it did, because it would probably give me more free time in the day, but I don't.
Okay. Favorite nail polish color?
Well, I will tell you, our daughter, and let me fix this because it keeps moving on me. Our daughter Skylar just got married in New Year's Eve. And I never paint my nails, but I went big as mother of the bride, and I put fakies on, and I love them.
Really?
Yeah. So whatever color this is, I love it. Now they're half grown out and need to come off, but I'm keeping them on, by golly.
That's good. I mean, that was the end of December. So
it was a New Year's Eve wedding, and I thought my dress was gold, and I thought, I'm going to go with a bold red lip and a bold nail, outside of the box.
If you could give one piece of advice to a new agent, what would that be?
You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle. There is nothing easy in this business. Nothing. And if you're getting into this, which unfortunately so many people do, because you really like houses and looking at houses, and you really think, I'm a fabulous decorator, and my favorite, show is Flip or Flop. You need to rethink this. It is, the hours are relentless. Here's the thing. If you don't answer your phone, they're going to call somebody else. They just will. Sometimes it's even your best friend. We live in a right now society, Everybody wants something right now, you know, and that's, look at Snapchat, look at Instagram, look at the stories. Like, we live in a right now world. Nobody has any patience anymore. And you got to answer your phone. First of all, you got to be responsive. You've got to sell. You're not really selling houses in this industry. You're selling yourself and the value you provide. If you can't do that, and you can't figure out how to do that, and you're not sure of your value, or you don't really, quite frankly, provide value because you're not willing to put in the hours educating yourself and going to the CE classes and stuff none of us want to do, but it all means something. It means something because it makes you better. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to have anything above and beyond what the next guy who just got their license has, you know?
Yeah, agreed. One final question for you, Deniece. Do you have a motto or words that you live by?
Well, you know, interesting question. The first thing that comes to mind is, I think I have two. Now that I had zero, now I have two. One is, and we've always lived this and raised our children with this, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I've always felt that you know, that to be true in our business as well. We as realtors, we make good money, you know, if you can get the job done and do what you say you're going to do, and much is expected of us. You know, we have got to add value and provide value. The second motto, which is more for me personally, is I believe it was Mark Twain said, "I have worried about many things in life, some of which actually happened." You know, you got to be able to go to bed at night. And funny, I say this because I tell you I'm not a good sleeper, but you got to be able to lay your head down on the pillow and just let it go. You know, especially in this business, I can't control a low appraisal. I just can't. You know, I can't control the hot water heater bursting in the middle of the open house. I can't, you know, I mean, there are so many things we can worry about. Where's my next commission check coming from? Oh my God, how am I going to pay for the renovations that you all probably hear going on downstairs? If you're going to go into this life in this world, you've got to be able to have a mindset of, you just can't worry about it until somebody gives you something to worry about, you know?
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Deniece, for coming on the show today. I very much appreciate you and your team and your time. I know you're super busy, so thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me. It was fun.